Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And so last night saw Larson, perhaps the greatest match of our generation.
Not perhaps.
Definitive.
Unquestionably.
Right. We're talking, of course, about the final deletion. This was the epic encounter, the last time Matt and Jeff Hardy are ever going to mix it up in a ring together. And oh boy, what we got was pretty amazing. I was sort of forced to watch Impact on Pop. There's a couple things going on here. Like the final deletion brought us to Impact TNA Wrestling on Pop. So I sort of had to watch that.
See, I recorded it, so I just fast forwarded through everything that wasn't final deletion related.
Okay. Do you have any notes as to like how the whole thing broke down?
No, I mean we could talk about the skits that preceded the actual match if you like.
Well, there was one segment, for example, when we got a tour of Jeff Hardy's house, and in this tour, again, very drone heavy.
Yes, exceptionally. I mean, the whole thing was centered on drones. Apparently, Matt Hardy has a fleet of attacking drones, and one of them has some sort of hologram projector.
A communication device of some sort.
Yeah, that was projecting his image, talking to his brother, trying to incite him into having this match.
Right, exactly. Jeff Hardy was...
I mean, I don't believe any of that technology actually exists.
Hey, look, I don't live out there in North Carolina. I have no idea what things are. The technology might be more advanced out there. I don't know. It might be like Singapore. So that was definitely a highlight. The drone with the communication device.
Well, then also Jeff Hardy was taking baseball swings with his guitar on a bunch of smaller drones.
That's right.
Which
I actually really appreciated Matt Hardy on a riding mower.
Yes.
Because he was going to tear down. I mean, if you can find any way to tear down somebody's identity, which I think is what he was trying to do with Brother Nero, is completely dismantle his identity. Then taking a riding mower to somebody's lawn where they have
intricately patterned lawn,
meticulously patterned lawn. Taking a riding mower to that, and what looks to be not even really a top of the line riding mower. Like it looks like he just got the what's the first riding mower available at any price point, and that's the one he got.
Yeah.
Because I've been to Sears and I've seen riding mowers that are much more.
Well, also you got to think about Matt Hardy invested a lot of money in his drone fleet. So he had to cut corners somewhere, and I guess that came with his riding mower.
Pioneering communication drones.
That opening segment was interesting, where he and his wife were celebrating his child's birthday.
That's right. Number one, it's kind of sad to me that nobody else showed up for the kid's birthday.
Well, how do we know that anybody else was invited?
Well, that's a good point. I would think just being a suburban dad, when you have a birthday party for your kid where there's all sorts of decorations and stuff, generally you're going to invite other kids. However, I would imagine all these people probably, even out of just curiosity at a cursory glance, have watched a little bit of Impact Wrestling recently and have maybe decided this perhaps isn't the place to be bringing my kid.
That's probably more likely.
Yeah. So that was really good. I really appreciate, what was the gardener's name? What was the
Senor Benjamin.
Senor Benjamin. I really appreciated the fact that we had lots of, really well told foreshadowing with Senor Benjamin, and he ended up playing a very pivotal role in the final deletion.
He did. All right, then we finally get to the actual match.
Yeah.
And that kicks off with, I believe, a ref driving through the woods.
Okay, here's the thing about TNA that wouldn't surprise me at all. The thing about TNA is that they've been known kind of in the past to work shoots into works. And so, for example, there was a while ago, they did this thing where they had a match where like the loser would be fired from the company.
Yeah, what's it called? It's like their Money in the Bank thing.
But they didn't know, like some of the wrestlers didn't realize that they were actually being fired from the company. Like that actually happened. I don't have the details, but I remember reading that. And there was like somebody did a shoot and was like, yeah, I didn't realize I was actually getting fired from the company by losing. So it wouldn't surprise me if this ref that they got like had no idea that he was going to be reffing the final deletion. They just said, hey, there's an arena, there's like a school gymnasium out here that TNA is going to be at. Just go ahead and drive to these coordinates.
I doubt it even that. It was probably like, here's an address. Here's a plane ticket to North Carolina and an address.
So Matt Hardy gives him some instructions.
Well, and then he picks up his violin and starts playing it to call Brother Nero to the ring, which is an interesting touch, I thought, because wasn't it the Emperor Nero who played his violin while Rome burned? Is that what happened?
Well, look, I figure that he's got those drones. I don't know why he's bothering with his violin call. Like, I would figure he'd just send a drone out and be like, Brother Nero, it's over. It's time. So anyways, Jeff Hardy pops up. He comes over. He looks completely like, the funny thing about Jeff Hardy is that I know he's into this, but he looks completely disinterested.
No, I don't think he is into it. I think what happened is Matt Hardy came with this ambitious idea and thought rightly that it was great.
Yeah.
Presented it to Jeff, and Jeff was like, all right, fine, let's just do it. That's what I think, because Matt Hardy's 110% invested in every little bit.
He's completely into this.
And Jeff just seems like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah. Let's see here. So it starts off as normal, like, you know, the ring is sort of, it's obviously in somebody's backyard. There's they placed it sort of strategically next to two pretty tall trees, so you know immediately that was going to be a spot.
Yeah, especially since there's a ladder next to one of the trees.
It's funny because this definitely has shades of the dungeon, the Stu Hart's dungeon match.
Yeah,
from back in the day in the WWF, and because like the bumps which they can sell. I mean, these guys can still sell, but like when somebody punches somebody else, it just looks so, like, you know, as if wrestling wasn't fake enough. This makes it look even more fake.
You know, I think part of that too is that they didn't shoot it like a typical wrestling match.
Yeah,
they tried to shoot it cinematically.
Right.
Just showed, you know, them pulling punches all the time. It was more obvious than it would be if they had just shot it like a typical wrestling match.
Right. Can we already start talking about the fireworks?
You want to skip all the way ahead to that?
Well, I mean, okay, there was a ladder spot. Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, I want to have a question about that.
Okay.
No, it's a tree spot.
It was a tree spot, yeah.
Where he put Matt Hardy down the ladder.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Hardy did a swanton out of the tree.
Right.
But then it looked like Matt moved off the ladder, so Jeff landed on it. But then directly after that, Matt Hardy was selling like Jeff had hit the spot, and Jeff went for the pin. That spot confused me.
Well, no, hold on. Let's see here. I'm getting to that point right here. Okay, so he puts him on the ladder, climbs up the tree. Very dramatic spot. He's pretty high up in this tree right here.
He is.
And let's see. He's up there. He's ready to tumble down. Of course he does this Jeff Hardy thing. And then he just sort of falls. No, you know, I don't. Okay, so Matt doesn't get out of the way.
Oh.
But he doesn't get hit either.
Yeah.
So I think the intention was he got hit. I think that was the intention. I mean, he kicks out of it, so maybe because he's on the ladder and they go to a wide shot when Hardy hits the ladder, but you see Matt just sort of tumble off it a little bit.
Yeah, and it seemed like he tumbled off a little early.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, that's why it was confusing to me.
But that's got to be a tricky spot to pull. Let's see. So anyways, after that big spot, Matt Hardy goes and lights. Is this called a Roman candle?
No, this is much larger than a Roman candle. I think they're, I don't know if this is the official name, but I think they're pretty much firework bazookas.
But to his credit, Jeff Hardy very quickly finds a garbage can lid.
Yeah,
garbage can lid.
Uses that as a shield to protect himself.
To protect himself with it.
This mortar of fireworks.
Exactly. It's pretty impressive, like the display that they're putting on here. Jeff Hardy does a pretty good job of shielding himself. They do a really dramatic drone shot of the smoke settling.
And I will say that after the fireworks barrage, the atmosphere with all the smoke was actually pretty cool.
Very impressive. Like, you got the lights up. You have all these work lights up. All these work lamps. Then Jeff Hardy picks up in what is certainly the moment when, if anybody thought that they were being serious with this, you realize that they are having so much fun with this, because Matt Hardy picks up what looks to be like a backhoe, like a backyard hoe, a garden hoe.
Yeah.
And he goes right into the camera, and then he realizes, he sees that Jeff Hardy has now turned the tables on him in some manner, which we're about to find out. And says, "Oh shit!" And then Jeff Hardy says, and Jeff Hardy's lighting something on fire, his own. I think it's his own bazooka, and he says, "You're goddamn right, oh shit."
And then I love that Jeff Hardy's shooting fireworks off at Matt, and Matt starts running, and he finds a boat. He hides under a boat.
He hides under a boat. But man, he's lighting this fucker up with these fireworks. The great thing is also, too, if you go back and watch this, you can see Jeff Hardy running. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he is not running right. I mean, I know the final deletion has sort of taken a lot out of him, but he looks very goofy running. It's like me running. So yeah, Jeff Hardy, who's still selling his Swanton bomb because probably a shoot. It's probably for real.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised. His run is so funny. I'm surprised that. Oh my God, he's just lighting up this boat right now.
So great.
He's just unloading on this boat, and then he throws it, and then he throws the bazooka at the boat.
Like everything leading up to the bazooka spots, I was like, okay, this seems like because the match didn't start till about 10 minutes were left in the show. So like, okay,
exactly.
This is going to be disappointing.
No. See, I thought, man, they're going to pack a lot into this 10 minutes.
No, I thought that too, but I was hoping there'd be a chance for the story to breathe a little bit.
Like a whole hour-long thing.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. But anyways, like leading up to the bazooka spot, I was like, okay, this is all right. And then the bazooka spot happened, and I was laughing the entire time.
I was just delighted. My entire face, like from that moment on, I was like, oh, this is like, it was just immediately great. And then so they exit the boat, or rather, Jeff Hardy, discovers Matt under the boat. Matt gets Jeff into a chokehold. Yeah. Gets him down into the water. Emerges victorious with his shirt sort of up above his belly, which is, it's getting there these days. You're right into the camera. He says, I don't even know what he said. He said something fucked up. Behind him emerges Willow, the Jeff Hardy alter ego, with his flag. He chokes out Matt Hardy with the flag. Matt gets the upper hand on him. Oh, that's something. Well, how can I forget that? That's when Senor Benjamin fucking tases.
Oh yeah,
tases Willow, which gets him off. And Matt Hardy, understanding that he's now got the upper hand, he gloats. He shakes it off a little bit because he's sort of selling the choke out from the flag. Goes back to find Willow, who has disappeared with Senor Benjamin.
Yes.
Finds Willow, pins him for the 3 count.
Calls for the official.
Shocking. Yes. Match is over, right? Wrong. Willow unmasked, found to be Senor Benjamin. Ref says, I'm sorry. No, the match isn't over. You just pinned, your gardener, dude. Jeff Hardy comes from behind. They find like a weird, like what looks like a dirt bike ramp, I guess, or it's like a mound of dirt that they've built an idol to Matt Hardy. I'm not sure.
There's a totem.
There's a totem there, but it looks very suspiciously like a dirt bike ramp, like they have a couple of motocross bikes or something like that, dirt bikes. Anyways, Jeff Hardy chokes out Matt Hardy.
Goes for an epic swanton off the top of the totem.
Goes for a massive swanton. And then Matt Hardy's wife.
Or seemingly in a vision.
You're right. It's in a vision.
Matt
because it just lights on fire. Oh, there he is.
He has like a torch because he's laying down and lights it. It looks like he's almost lit himself on fire because he rolled out of the way.
Yeah. And then Jeff Hardy, realizing that he's about to be lit on fire, aborts his swanton.
Lands square on a pile of dirt.
Again, just a nasty bump. You could tell he's in pain when Matt goes for the 3 count. And Matt Hardy, victorious, gets the 3 count.
He gets the final deletion.
Which, I mean, let's be fair, dude. This is like, this is if any match is to be considered on somebody else's terms, on somebody else's the home court advantage, it was thoroughly in Matt Hardy's favor here.
And considering this is his magnum opus, his masterpiece,
it's fitting that he wins.
Yeah.
So I was, on one hand, I was surprised because Jeff Hardy, I think probably as the face, You know, you don't often see the hero. You know, like this is the final deletion. They can't do another one of these. This is the end. And how often do we get to see the bad guy emerge victorious from this?
I know.
So is this going to get kicked up another notch? I don't see how. It's the final deletion.
Yeah. What can they do to best that?
Oh man, this was just pure joy. It was just absolutely pure joy, and somebody at TNA needs to give the book over the entire creative endeavor. Like
to Matt Hardy.
How was it Billy Corgan wasn't sitting here thinking, I'm Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins. I own a piece of the company. I'm like one of the creative heads. How did I not come up with this? Why am I just doing the same shit day in and day out, like coming to the ring and delivering promos? I'm like one of the creative, known as one of the creative geniuses of my generation of music. Maybe not by us, but by others.
Okay.
And he's sitting there, and the Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy just had something that was infinitely better than, what was their big double album called?
Oh, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Yes. Well, here's the thing. Music is an entirely different thing than booking pro wrestling.
Well, he's finding that out now, and I hope he's found some inspiration, not only for his continued involvement with TNA, but his future musical endeavors.
See, I didn't know Billy Corgan was an on-screen presence at this point.
Yeah, dude.
So I was fast-forwarding, and I see him come out, and I was like, this is not really inspiring me to watch more TNA.
Really? Because it totally inspired. What inspired me to watch more TNA was Pop, the network Pop TV's proclivity for changing up the frame rate on a minute-by-minute basis. And I was like, I tweeted out, I was like, I don't know if this is my PlayStation View service, or I don't know if this is Pop, or I don't know if this is TNA, because any of them, they're all janky services. Any of them. And Ulysses tweeted, he's like, no, dude, it's Pop. Mine has been on a mess the entire night.
See, granted, I still have cable, but I was watching it, and I didn't experience any problems.
All right, it must be their deal with
simply their streaming. I don't know why it's not in HD. That's my concern.
Oh, it wasn't HD for you? I think it was in HD for me.
No, our cable service only offers Pop in standard definition.
Wow.
So I didn't get to see the final deletion in the highest possible fidelity.
I think maybe this is the kind of thing that should be in standard definition.
Well, really, this match should be shown in theaters.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
As a feat of storytelling, it is arguably unparalleled in the history of wrestling.
This should really be taught in filmmaking classes as well.
Yeah.
Like every filmmaking class and every wrestling class should begin. This should be like number one.
Mm-hmm.
It should be, the works of Goddard and Hardy. Anyways, that's our take on the final deletion.
It was great.
It was great. It was fantastic. It was just a joy to watch. And, there's so much negativity in wrestling. These two guys, or at least one of them, found a way to make it completely balls out, crazy, and fun, and ridiculous. And so we have to salute the heart. Now I'm all, you know what? We did our little video, top 5 superstars who shouldn't be signed by the WWE. And we said no Matt Hardy. I say all Matt Hardy. If Matt Hardy isn't re-signed as their head of creative, I will be very disappointed.
Well, we only said we didn't want them re-signed as active wrestlers.
Yeah, I know, but I've turned around on that too. I want to see.
I don't want him in the ring.
I want to see Matt Hardy in the ring. Are you kidding me? This was amazing. This was great. He just watches him run. His run is great. Oh, God. All right. Anyways, that's it for that. I mean, we had to do this. This was a watershed moment.
And I plan on watching it again, so maybe I'll have some additional thoughts.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
This is a match that we're all going to watch over and over again.
We're gonna
ponder
watch
and analyze frame by frame, so we get everything out of it.
I know. We really should do like an actual get together and get the video up there, breakdown, and it's educational. They can't take it down. They can't do a takedown on that.
That's true.
It needs to be
if we do a full analysis of like the thematic elements of the final deletion, like the Nero stuff and him playing the violin.
Yeah.
I mean that's they're adding some weight, some complexity.
We can talk about that for an hour alone. Just the violin.
Yeah. It adds depth to the story.
It does. It all means something, man.
It does.
It all means something. If you're going through your day right now, and you don't really know where your life is headed, watch the final deletion, and you'll get so many answers.
Yeah. and you'll ask yourself more questions.
Exactly, which is the important thing in life.
Really, it is.
Oh, man. All right, that's it. We'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.
It's over. All right, so I was able to find a copy on Daily Motion. I'm sort of
probably shouldn't put that in the video.
What's that?
You probably shouldn't mention that in the video.
What does it matter? I didn't put it up on Daily Motion.
Okay, whatever.
Somebody else did.
All right.
Nobody goes to Daily Motion unless they want like naked stuff, because Daily Motion's like the Wild West of the internet videos.
Pretty much.
Anyway, so this ref pulls up